education is very powerful because it helps you categorize a certain behavior and give it a name. And today we are going to talk about narcissist. What is narcissist? Glad you asked. According to Google, a narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. I mean, a person who thinks the world revolves around them. So, narcissistic personality disorder, otherwise known as NPD, is a mental disorder, in which one has an inflated sense of self-importance. And some of you may have had parents who are narcissistic in nature. Do you know the signs? Hi, my name is Mfon. Welcome. Children of narcissists often have difficult childhoods where they constantly tried and failed to live up to the changing expectation of their parents. Narcissistic parents are often emotionally abusive to their children, holding them to impossible and constantly changing expectations. Symptoms of NPD includes 1. Excessive need for admiration and attention. 2. Lack of empathy for others. 3. Inability to handle criticism. And 4. A sense of entitlement. Can you relate to any of that? So with that being said, here are 10 signs you were raised by a narcissist. 1. Their love for you was conditional. One of the most common signs of being raised by a narcissist is feeling unloved. Your parents love you because of blank. This is called conditional love because there are certain conditions that have to be met in order for you to receive love. Number 2, somehow it was always about them. People with NPD have a way of always making a situation about them. Their tendency to make things about them may have made you feel unheard, unseen, and invisible. For example, your parents took credit for your achievement. I have seen that a lot of times. So another sign you were raised by a narcissist is experiencing self-doubt. Yeah. Narcissists are often skilled at gaslighting, which is abusive tactics of twisting and distorting the truth in ways that can make a person question and doubt reality. Over time, this causes children to doubt themselves and their reality, even making them wonder if they are imagining things or going crazy. Number 4, you weren't allowed to state your feelings or your needs. You were not allowed to say your mind and be free. I mean, if you felt like it wasn't okay for you to tell your parents how you felt or what you wanted or needed growing up, it may be an indication that your parents had NPD. Children of narcissists learn early that the things they feel, want, and need don't matter to their parents and learn to keep these to themselves. I was one of those child. Number 5, you've always struggled with low self-esteem. I can take a word for that. Yeah, I struggle with low self-esteem a lot. You've always struggled with low self-esteem because of how your parents belittle you if you didn't conform to their ideas and use of shame to try to control you. They were always manipulative, making you feel completely worthless. Sometimes your flaws were always highlighted. I can relate to that. Yeah. So, can you relate? Like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. 6. Their reputation was your responsibility. Yeah, I have seen that a lot of times. Their reputation was your responsibility because narcissists are so dependent on the validation, recognition, and admiration of others. Their children are expected to help them maintain a perfect appearance. As Dr. Campbell rightly said, a child can become an extension of the narcissistic parent's ego, which often includes helping the parent maintain a certain image or reputation. You are an extension of your parents. 7. They expected you to always agree with them. Woo! I can relate a lot. I can relate to almost all of this. They expected you to always agree with them because narcissists have very fragile egos. Having a different opinion, belief, or idea can be seen as a threat. Children of narcissists are often denied the right to have their own feelings, beliefs, or opinion, and also aren't allowed to make their own choices. For example, if your parents hated someone, you may have also been expected to hate that person too. I can relate to that very, very well. In fact, it happens very well in African community that your father will have an issue with another person and you are expected to not to talk to that person. Yeah, that's a form of narcissist. Number 8, you struggle to set proper boundaries. As a child, you weren't allowed to develop your own boundaries or have a healthy sense of yourself as a separate individual. I can see myself in almost all of these. I don't know about you. How many can you relate? Number 9, they do no wrong. Yes, your parents were always right. A narcissistic parent would always be defensive and blames other people, denying their mistakes and needing to maintain a perfect appearance. Unfortunately, this means that most parents with NPD will not admit that they did anything wrong, including not being willing to acknowledge some of their shortcomings as parents. If you had a narcissistic parent, you may have been blamed for many things that weren't, really your fault. And if you ever tried to confront your parents about ways they mistreated you, you probably did not get the apology you wanted from them. Number 10, you were experiencing depression and anxiety. Narcissist parents don't model good ways of managing negative emotions like anxiety. They spend little time helping their children learn to self-soothe. You may also be experiencing anxiety due to your reach for perfectionism with overwhelming fear centered around criticism. Absolutely. For example, being pressured to just make first position and also be doctor. You have to be perfect. You don't, your parents just want you to be perfect. As if we are not all imperfect beings. Your parents just pressure you and, that might cause you to be depressed, which, growing up, our parents never believed in that. And I used to be depressed, but I just keep it to myself. And depression simply means, anger turned inward. You are being pressured to be what you are not, or what, for some reason you are not able to attain, and sometimes they make you feel as if, you are dumb. I experienced that. So in this channel, we talk about healthy parenting, and all these signs, if you have it as a parent, they are not healthy at all. Because I know for sure one of my parents has a narcissistic trait. Can you relate to this? Did you have a narcissist parent? In my next video, I'm going to center on African parents. And we're going to look at all these traits and see if all African parents are narcissists. Because it looks like. So we're going to look into that. So like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think and if you really experience any of these signs. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.